everyone, I'm Megan and the director and owner of Bibble and Bubble. As you're all at home today, the weather's bad, wind, I had to cancel the Whiteley classes. I thought it'd be really good to do some YouTube videos, so head on over to our YouTube studio. It's Bibble and Bubble, you'll be able to find it. It will have some clips and some of the videos I'm going to do today, which you can watch and do with your baby. But here today, I just wanted to touch on postnatal yoga and postnatal recovery. So this has come up a lot in classes over the last few months, over the last few weeks. And I just wanted to touch on it because I think it's really important. So when we look at postnatal recovery and when I talk about it in classes, there's some really important things to try and avoid in the early weeks and months after having your baby. So please avoid doing any sit-ups. I know we want to get back to exercise and we want to get back to all the exercises we may have done in our pregnancy or before having a baby. But you need to really look after your lower abdominals, you need to really look after your posture, and we need to really focus on a good recovery. So making sure you feel strong and able to lift your baby. We feel that we're looking after our posture, and all of these sorts of things are really important. So trying to avoid sit-ups. So I know when we're often going down and picking up our babies and we're lying on the floor, this can be difficult. But what I would suggest to you is that when you're going to lie down on the floor, try to avoid any movements where we're doing this, because our lower abdominals are weak, because when we've given birth through C-section or naturally, we are drawing apart these 4 layers of muscles. So we need to repair and strengthen all these muscles before we go back to doing any sit-ups. So when you go down onto the floor, think about turning your knees to one side, taking your arm down and coming down, so you're lying on your side before rolling onto your back. Then we can look at sequences where you're toning your lower abdominals from a lying down position, but we're doing it in a safe way, and we're just beginning to use our breath to just draw those muscles back together so we feel a little bit tighter and we're looking after our back a little bit more. So other things to avoid is high intensity squatting, because often postnatally we are a little bit weak around our pelvis and our hips. So it's important that when we do any squatting that we're engaging the correct muscles. So it's far better to use a chair where you're squatting down onto the chair and then you're coming back up to a standing position and repeating, because this will enable you to use the correct muscles and is a much better way of beginning to strengthen and feel strong again. Very important too, just to watch your alignment, so making sure that your knees are not kicking in, because often when we're a little bit weak around our pelvis area and our hips, we tend to find that our knees want to come inwards, and we want to make sure that we keep strong and aligned. So when you do any squatting down onto a chair, just make sure that you're looking at those areas, and again, thinking about opening your chest and just slowly, little short sequences are far better than high impact. Also thinking about just not going back to running too quickly. If you are keen on running and you've done lots of exercise before having your baby, I know often we're tempted to want to get back to things, but walking is really, really beneficial. Get into a walking routine, those sorts of things you can build up. Spend lots of time focusing on your posture. So even when you're walking around, pushing the buggy, when you're lifting your baby up out of their cot or putting them down, just focus on, are my shoulders aligned? Have I opened my chest? Am I breathing correctly? Is my tummy rising when I'm breathing in? And am I breathing out nice and slowly to keep calm and relaxed? This won't only just help you, it will also help when settling your baby to sleep in their cot at night. There are so many benefits of focusing on your posture and your relaxation that can really support your baby in being calm as well. So they're just a few tips. Exercises like the cat in yoga are really good for your back, but just try to avoid the arching of the back the other way into the cow position, because when we're talking about postnatal yoga and in that postnatal period, we want to focus on drawing everything together, and we need to acknowledge that we need to take time to strengthen these tummy muscles so that then we feel more balanced and we've got less pressure on our back. I am offering one-to-one sessions in postnatal yoga and postnatal recovery. So if you are wanting more information, you're wanting a one-to-one session where I can focus on relaxation techniques for yourself, and I can also look at some postnatal stretches and sequences that are really going to help you, then get in contact.